Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at people who realize someone's a complete psychopath. So yeah, let's just get right into the video. At a daycare I used to work in, there was this stepmom. Whenever she'd pick up a 3-year-old stepdaughter, she was the nastiest lady in the world. We had to watch what we said to her because any negative meant that little girl got punished. For example, we said she pushed another kid and the stepmom gave this little girl a spanking. She used to do other weird things too. Like even though this girl was fully potty trained, she insisted we put her in a diaper before she picked her up. If we didn't, it was the first thing she did. Not like a pull-up either, an actual baby diaper. We were convinced it was just to humiliate her. She had this shit-eating grin when she would do it too. We had told this to the little girl's dad and he just never believed it. Then they came to pick her up together. Instead of this mean lady, it was like Mary Poppins showed up. Complete 180 attitude change. The next day, right back to it. I feel so sad for the little girl. No. Where's her biological mum? It's just so sad that the dad wouldn't believe it. Like, why? Why wouldn't you believe that if that's something someone tells you? That your wife may be abusing your little girl. If you hear that, wouldn't you want to look into it? Instead of just being like, no, she's not. Those are some terrible parents, seriously. Knew a guy who praised his supervisor, called him a mentor. Not even a year later, the guy completely assumed his supervisor's life, slept with his wife and incited the divorce, championed for full custody of his sub's kids and had them call him dad, took over sub's position at work after the guy was so stressed with the custody battle he requested a different post. Wife got the house in the divorce, so all that too if I recall correctly. It has been 4 years and they are still in and out of court. He basically took over that guy's life. Like he stole his supervisor's life. How? Even the wife was enamored by him? Crazy. Actually psychopath behavior. One time when I was like 11 or 12 years old, a family friend asked me to steal pain pills from my grandpa in exchange for sex with a 17-year-old son. I didn't know what sex was at the time. I told my mum. What the frick? What the actual frick? What? I hope the son is okay because it sounds like he's not. If that's what the mum is doing. Jeez. I was with my best friend and she wanted to go backroading with a couple of guys she knew. Sure, fine, whatever. We get in the Bronco and hit the dirt back roads while listening to music. All of a sudden, the truck comes to a stop. They yell, "Possum," and run out of the truck. I got out because I thought they saw an injured opossum and I wanted to help. Nope, they wanted to stomp it to death. And they did. Even with me screaming and crying. My friend tried to blow it off as no big deal. I told them to take me back because I wanted to go home, but they wouldn't. I had to sit in that truck with those drugs until they were ready to call it a night. I did everything possible to ruin the night just so it would end and I could go home. I've never seen someone take so much pleasure in violently killing a helpless animal that did nothing wrong. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. Oh my goodness. Those people deserve the worst karma. A 48-year-old man boasting to his mother-in-law about his enrichment after his wife's death. Yes, he's my father. Yes, my mother committed suicide. She went insane living with him. He was like celebrating that his wife died when she committed suicide. So he drove her to her death and he was happy. I just don't know how this person would feel to have a dad like that. That's so upsetting. And they also lost their mom because the dad was like that. The dad definitely needs to rot in hell too. Seriously, what the heck? My next door neighbors had an extremely bizarre way of punishing their daughter. They would literally lock her out of the house for hours naked. I never said anything because I was so young, but my parents never said anything either, even though we could hear her screaming. No one did anything? Oh my goodness. Maybe it's because they thought if they took her in, I don't know, they'll get in trouble or something. But damn, I would definitely take her in and then just call the cops. Like, what the frick? What the frick? Get everyone arrested in that house because what the frick? My older cousin went on a sobbing monologue about how he missed his late father in front of a group of people. Then, as soon as they left, he smirked and said he wasn't useful while he was alive. So he just wanted to gain sympathy points by acting sad. That is actually psycho behavior. What the hell? The way she was able to instantly change her character whenever she was in front of someone else. She would turn on the charm and suddenly become the loving teacher that everyone believed she was, while behind closed doors she was the world's most horrific child abuser. It was almost surreal watching how quickly she was able to change her personality to be someone that everyone loved and admired. That is psycho behavior. Jeez. Can you imagine just thinking like this teacher is like the best person ever, and then you find out they're actually not? It's crazy how well someone can actually put up an act. My estranged mother bought cats solely because she planned to kill them. She didn't want my younger brother growing up a pussy because he dared to cry over his goldfish when he was like 6. What? Where does she live? You know, I just want to talk. I just want to talk. Alright, where does she live? Story from my friend's relationship with her now ex-boyfriend. During some of the rough patches, he surprised her with the dog to try and rekindle the love in their relationship. When she finally decided to split with him, he threatened to abandon the dog on the side of the road if she didn't stay, because he had no use for the dog anymore. He really used the dog as leverage if she ever tried to leave them. Wow! So that was all a manipulative tactic. Threatening to hurt an animal and use the animal for your own advantage? Psycho. Back when my friend group were all 18 to 19, legal drinking age in the UK, we went to the city centre to get drunk. After going to a few bars and clubs, we got some food. One of my friends at the time threw up in the paper bag. He then saw a homeless man and gave him the bag, to which the man thought he had been gifted food and thanked him. My heart died a little, and from being too young and shocked, just left the scene with the group. My friend was the only one laughing. The others mentioned that was wrong and messed up, but he shook it off. Glad he's not my friend anymore. I'm glad he's not your friend too. That's nasty. I hate people like that. Like, seriously, I hate people like that. I hope he rots in hell. It's the fact that they're tricking to get someone's hopes up. That's so messed up. They were a manager and laughed and said something like, best part of the job that, after making a young female employee cry in a public meeting. Okay. Well, I hope someone makes him cry too. Who I thought was my boyfriend was instead a married serial cheater. He had an affair baby. Meanwhile, his wife was battling cancer. His family helped him to cover the existence of the baby. His best friend constantly cheats on his girlfriend and they're going to get married soon. Wow, what the heck? Trashy people really do belong together. I've taught a young girl who I suspect is a psychopath aged 4. Swearing, physical outbursts, biting, spitting, kicking, attacking other children out of nowhere. That's probably what she was taught. Honestly, I feel like swearing. She obviously picks that up from her parents. She put her baby brother in the oven, has tried to set fire to the house on numerous occasions, throw rocks at cars, strangled rabbits, ripped feathers from birds, and killed them. An absolute unit. You know what? Whenever I hear stories about this, I always wonder what's going on at home. Because no way she's having a happy life at home. There must be something going on. This was happening from before kindergarten age. She would openly share how she was going to kill her siblings by throwing them out of windows, running them over, pushing them in front of cars, etc. All avenues of help were useless. She would attack adults too. She was declined schooling, health camps, etc. The only option her mum had for help was to drug her into a zombie-like state. The rationale for her out-of-control behaviors was mum did drugs whilst pregnant, and the child was wired wrong. Heartbreaking stuff despite numerous interventions. I would expect that she would murder someone before long and be institutionalized. She is 10 now and has a major menace to authorities. Wow. Wow, her mum did drugs while she was pregnant. That explains a lot. I mean, it explains a lot afterwards too, because after having the kid, if you're doing drugs, you're not going to be able to take care of the kid well. Because from the sounds of it, it sounds like she's definitely an addict because you don't do drugs while you're pregnant. Okay? Jeez. See, stories like this, you just know it's not the kid's fault. You just know that the parents were just being irresponsible and they're not being good parents. That's why the kid turns out like that. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!